Because it will give you some origins to stuff, like why the song Perfume is my song for Lovejoy. And I was like, oh, I think you lot might want to know. Yes? Okay, I will. So, the tommyinnit love life. Now, I don't really think I've ever had a proper girlfriend or anything, right? But I'll go through it. So, my first time was in year 7. There was this girl, and I won't say her name, fake name, Daisy. It's a girl called Daisy who I used to play Minecraft with, and she went to my school, and she was so cool. And we played Minecraft for a little while. We were on a little Minecraft server. Pretty sure on my Hypixel housing, there's still a little note from her, which is so cool. I'm just saying, that's pretty sick. This is in year 7, so when I was like 12. And we never actually met up at the park. I wasn't even allowed to go out before. I literally wasn't allowed to like go out the house at that point, which is a shame because everyone else was like, did you know all the way through secondary in year 7 and 8, I had a little Nokia phone. I wasn't allowed an iPhone and everyone else had an iPhone. My nickname was Nokia Brick for a little bit, which I'll admit didn't go down well. Didn't go down. Why am I shouting on Rising? Weird. But yeah. And then she just broke up with me one day and I never really knew why, but I think she was just, I don't really know. It wasn't really serious, but it was in year 7. Now, I'll admit, that bugged me down for 5 years, but through secondary, nothing really happened, except in year 10, where I was briefly, I think this one girl liked me, and I kind of liked her, but I liked editing my Minecraft videos, and so I went, and then I kind of stopped replying. But now, guys, I'm so good at replying to messages, right? Yeah, a bit of an L. Second time, 10 gifted subs, thank you. No bitches. Okay. So, nothing really happened. In year 10 and year 11, I spent the entire time hanging out with Erin, just walking through school, because we both knew that we were playing Minecraft, and we were cool on Hypixel. So, we both knew, listen, none of these other folks have Technoblade on their Hypixel friends list. So that was my entire secondary school. Literally just me and Erin going around being dickheads. But that was pretty, so, editing, great, yeah, mate. I just remember being like, this just isn't the right time. But I was excited for when I went to college. The only thing is, don't know if you guys realised, everything changed, because of you guys, everything changed a lot after college. Because I started the quarantine with 100k, and my goal for the end of the quarantine was to be at a place with YouTube where I was like, right, I can chill out with this, I don't have to try hard after quarantine. And then the end of quarantine, I hit 1 million subscribers, and I was like, okay, well, I still want to try, this is the coolest thing that's ever happened to me, I'm friends with Jay. So I kept try-harding. But at college, all right, so this is the one that you all know kind of a bit of. So there was the girl at college, and I won't even say a name, but let me get on. So there was the girl at college, and I really, really, really liked this girl at college. She did editing with me. It was really, really cool. And for like months, and this is probably between 1 million to like 6 million, all of this happened. So probably like June of last year to like December of 2020, about this time. So I really, really like this girl. And it was going quite well, and like my thing I did when I liked a girl, which I still do now, is just incessantly make the best jokes that are in my head I just make. So I remember when I first spoke to her, I just kept doing the J-Schlap bit where I'm like, well, they call me Mr. Editing. Well, they call me Mr. They call me Mr. Premiere Pro Cutter. And it landed. It was going really, really well. I liked her for so many months. You want to believe this, guys? But I actually, whenever it comes to talking to girls, I get very, very nervous. I get all like, when it comes to me saying hi to someone, because I'm really, really good at saying hi to people, I think, when it's like there's a reason to. But when there isn't a reason to, and it's like, I won't say hi because you're cool, I get so shy and nervous, and but I said hi quite a few times. It was going really, really well. We were like mates at college, we were proper friends. And then in like early June, so just after all COVID and stuff had ended, it was definitely around, because it was the February lockdown where I streamed. That was like when we did the hotel stuff on the Dream SMP. And then afterwards, like about this time, she invited me to the only party I've ever been to, a party. I was like, oh, okay. And I went to this party with a load of people I didn't really know. 50 gifted from Emily B. Holy shit, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my God. And this is the only party I've ever been to. And I was like hyping myself up. I was like speaking to Freddie, Aaron, and Tubbo about it. I'm gonna say hi. So I'm gonna be like, hey, like I like you. Do you want to like go on a date? I was like really, really hyping myself up. And I was like, okay, this is my one chance. I went to this party and everyone was drinking, and I was like, This is scary for me. I don't really want to drink. And then I remember I went up. Oh, what's the next one? And I went up, and I remember going up and saying hi, and being like, do you want to go on out sometime, like to the park and chat, or like go to Costa or something? And I just remember it being like, I didn't realize it was like I've just started going out with this other guy from the other college, and I remember being like, oh, that's cool, it's cool, and I just sat in the party like, that's cool. I was just so like, and I don't really remember. Okay, this bit's gonna sound weird, but for some reason during that party, after that party, in like my backpack, she must have brought a perfume bottle or something. It was definitely hers, because I remember like having it in the morning, being like, because I didn't drink, but I remember having it in the morning, being like, why do I have this? And I left it on like, you know that bit in my old room where I had like that big panel with all like the school books on. I left it up there. I remember one day I was like really sad. I was like so sad. This was probably just sort of like just before the vlog started, like around this time. Oh, I've never said this before. And I was like, oh man, I remember just like, I don't think I was crying, I might have been, but I was just like really sad. And I saw the thing on the perfume bottle up there. I was like, oh man, this reminds me, because Wilbur, before he ever did all of the Lovejoy stuff, he'd like preview every Lovejoy song with me. He still does. He'd like, he shows me all of it, and he'd be like, what do you think? What do you think? And my favorite one was Perfume. I was like, yeah, I could still smell her perfume. Bow, now, now. And I remember just looking at it, and I was like, it was her perfume at mine. I was like, oh man, I'd be streaming that Lovejoy song right now if it was here. And then later, like a few hours later, I rang Will, and I think I'd already told him about this, but I was like really sad. And I just remember being like, Will, do you, mate, I'm gonna be listening to that Perfume song. I'll tell you that now when it's out. And he went, oh no, we're cutting it. I went, what? And he was like, yeah, sorry, we're cutting it from the EP. I was like, why? I was like, oh, I just don't really like it. And I literally was like, no, you have to keep it. This song now means a lot to me. Like, this is like this time of my life, it's this song. You have to keep Perfume in. And he was like, no. I was like, no, seriously, please. This song is so like, because it was like, actually to me, when I think of that song, I think of the little pink perfume bottle that was on my cupboard, and I'm like, you have to keep it. He was like, really? Okay, all right, okay, I will. I'll put some more work into it. And then he did. And then he kept. So that is why Perfume's in the EP, because he just would have cut it. He wouldn't like write, because I don't think he runs it by very many people, the songs on the EP. But I was like, yeah, dude, like, and he was going to just get rid of it because he just didn't like it very much. And Will does that. There was one of the other songs, Coronado, that he ran by me, and I was like, yeah, I like this, but it's not my favorite, which I really regret now, because I really, really like that song. Now, I listened to the little edit of it on YouTube. But like, he didn't include that, because I said to him, like, I think a few people and me were like, yeah, I'm sorry, it's just not like my favorite. But literally, he, yeah, so that's why Perfume is in the Lovejoy EP. It means a lot to me, so that's why I'm like, oh yeah, man. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, that was that, and I don't really know what happened since then, because I kind of dropped out. Because it was, the thing about college was, right, it was really good. Like, I had a really, really nice time. But most of the year one, I had like 1 million subscribers, so it was really cool. It was like, I had a really fun time, and I went in once a week, one Wednesday for 9 hours, which it probably was actually about 6 hours, because we just sort of dicked about. And I had mates at college. It was a fun time, and most of my college experience was just sat trying to understand what flirting was. It was very fun. Like, I didn't really do anything. But in year two, I had like 10 million, and it was like I was like not popular, but everyone was like, I was the center of attention, but I wasn't popular. I was just, I remember this, you know, in the Spider-Man trailers, in Spider-Man No Way Home, like I like watched the No Way Home trailer, and that bit where Peter Parker's walking through the hallway and everyone's just filming him, I was like, fuck this, a little too close to home, you know, because you know me, guys, I'm basically Spider-Man. So I was watching that, but I was like, oh, bit too similar arcs, jeez. I was like, oh my god. So that's what, like, and I dropped out quite early, but because I was sort of dropping out to move down here. But I remember watching No Way Home, being like, okay, maybe cut that bit from the final draft. But yeah, but everybody, before we all panic, and so that's basically been it. Like, it is not. So I guess in year 7 I had a girlfriend, but not really. You know, like, But that's where it's been. So, you know, not really, but I don't like mind, because I'm really into just making my my videos. And I did one video over last summer being like, getting recognised won't stop. It was actually one of the first videos I privated, because I just didn't like it. I just thought I came across a bit like wanky, and that's very important, not being wanky IMO. And I didn't like that one. You know, the one with the little bit on one's out animated. But yeah, that was over summer. I was like, I would really like to go out and meet. So I didn't really, like, it was sort of just chilled out.